Following the end of the war with the fusion dimension, reconstruction efforts across realities began, with no world in need of repair more than the Xyz dimension. But now, Xyz and fusion users alike worked side by side, overseen by the watchful eye of Declan Akaba and the Leo Corporation to bring peace and normalcy back to those whose lives had been torn apart by the war. But as Declan worked to repair the harm done by his father, Leo Akaba, a troubling report made its way to his ear. "Mr. Akaba, I have terrible news. There's some rogue fusion user out there turning people into cards again."
Unfortunate. Even with the end of the war, it will take generations for the hatred my father spurred to be laid to rest. How many Xyz users has he conquered?
That's just the thing. He's not just carding Xyz users, but fusion users too. It's indiscriminate. I barely escaped with my life. None of his duels lasted longer than a couple of turns either. Left and right, he annihilated his foes in a single turn.
Sounds like quite the soldier. Thank you for telling me. I'll handle it.
Cyber and Dragon! Annihilate this weakling with Super Strident Blaze!
Ah! Wait! No!
Learn
Please,
to
please,
embrace
no.
this pain.
Please.
Should you survive, it will make you strong.
You there! The war is over! Lay down your duel disc and release those you've sealed.
The war has only ended for the ones who chose to give up, or who were conquered. But for those of us who still feel its pain, it will never end.
Who are you?
I am Zane Truesdale, the Professor's strongest warrior, sent here on a death mission because the old man feared what he couldn't control.
Oh, so you're Zane Truesdale. Reports say that you met your end here.
Not quite. There was one Xyzian who came closer than most. He showed me pain that taught me my own weakness. I was forced to bide my time until I could strike back when they least expected it. Would you like to learn the lesson he taught me?
I'm sorry for your suffering, but I cannot allow you to continue. You must not have heard of me. I am Declan Akaba, and I will put an end to your crusade.
Akaba, huh? So you're the Professor's son. He talked about you, you know. None of us ever held a candle to you in his eye. When I take you away from him, it'll begin to make up for everything he took from us. Let's duel!
I'll start by activating Dark Contract with the Gate. This card allows me to add Double D Savant Kepler to my hand. Next, I'll summon it, and use Kepler's ability to add Dark Contract with the Swamp King to my hand. But before I play that, I'm going to set my Triple D Oblivion King Abyss Ragnarok in my Pendulum Scale.
Pendulum Scale?
You missed quite a bit during the war, didn't you? Now the stage is set. I activate Dark Contract with the Swamp King. I fuse my Double D Savant Kepler with the Triple D Doom King Armageddon in my hand. Appear, Triple D Oracle King Dark. Now, the ability of my Scaled Ragnarok activates, allowing me to revive a monster in my graveyard. So behold, the fearsome immortal who commands the obedience of all, Triple D Doom King Armageddon! Summoning it with Ragnarok's effect does come with a price to pay, however. I take 1,000 points of damage, as per Ragnarok's effect.
That can't be right. Why did your life points go up?
It's all thanks to my King Dark. Any effect damage I would take increases my life points instead. But now, I activate my field spell, Dark Contract with Patent License. I've observed your affinity for fusion summoning, so by playing Triple D Oracle King Dark, I've placed a patent on fusion summoning. Now, you'll take 1,000 damage when you next fusion summon, and then you won't be able to fusion summon again for the rest of that turn. So tell me, Truesdale, have the pieces clicked in your mind yet? Normally, Dark Contract costs me 1,000 life points each turn, but thanks to the healing ability of King Dark, I'll be gaining more life points than your strongest monsters can deal me in just a few turns. Try to fusion summon, good luck. It'll cost you a quarter of your life points, and you'll only get one for that turn. Even if you manage to defeat my Triple D Oracle King Dark, I can always just revive her with Abyss Ragnarok's ability. You are a problem, Zane, but I've solved you in a single turn. Once this duel is finished, and you fall powerless, I will personally bring you into custody. You can struggle through this duel until you have nothing left, if you truly have the will to do so. Or, you can take the easy way out of your pointless struggle. Concede to me, and free the duelists you've captured. It seems you've made your choice then. I set one card face down, and end my turn.
What do you mean it hasn't clicked yet? Now that you're done with your monologuing, it's time for me to end this, Akaba! I draw! You really think you've set up anything that threatens me? You think this is pressure? I'll show you true pressure! And it'll be my pleasure to make you watch as it all comes crumbling down on top of you! Since you're the only one who controls a monster, I'll special summon my Cyber Dragon to the field! Next, by discarding Cyber Dragon Hertz, I can summon Cyber Dragon Noxter! And when it's sent to the graveyard, Hertz lets me add another Cyber Dragon to my hand. For a little bit of background before my next play, my Cyber End Dragon, the monster you saw me destroy the previous duelist with, requires 3 Cyber Dragons to fusion summon. And Noxter's name just so happens to become Cyber Dragon while it's on the field.
You can't be serious. Already?
I activate Power Bond! Quake in terror like the weaklings before you, as I fuse the Cyber Dragon in my hand with the 2 on my field. I fusion summon! Come, Cyber End Dragon! And thanks to Power Bond, Cyber End Dragon's attack points double to 8,000! It's over for you, Declan! Who could have guessed that the professor's son would be such a disappointment? Cyber End Dragon! Attack Doom King Armageddon, and end this duel with Super Strident Blaze!
I've heard of your Power Bond card.
What?
It's a powerful fusion spell indeed, but it has a fatal downside. As soon as your turn is over, you'll be hit with 4,000 damage. You're going to defeat yourself.
How are you alive? You should be a card right now!
Just before your attack hit me, I used Contract Laundering. It allowed me to destroy my 2 dark contracts in my back row, draw 2 cards, and gain 2,000 life points, which is where I currently stand after your attack dealt me 5,000 damage.
You're supposed to be dead, Akaba! I'll make sure you reach that same fate! I summon Cyber Ouroboros! I need answers! I activate the spell card Iron Draw! Since I control 2 machines, I can draw 2 cards! Perfect! I found just the answer I'm looking for, Declan! I activate Creature Swap! Now we're both forced to give each other a monster! I'll hand over my Cyber Ouroboros, and you have no choice but to give me Triple D Oracle King Dark!
What? But that means...
It means I won't be taking 4,000 damage this turn, but rather that I'll set a card and gain 4,000 life points, bringing me to 7,000! It's your move, Akaba.
I can't believe I've allowed you to get that far. I draw. First, I shall make use of a card that reminds me of myself. Go! Triple D Divine Zero King Rage! I set the pendulum scale. Behold, the universal energy swings between darkness and light. I'll harness the power of this oscillation. Pendulum Summon!
Pendulum Summon?
That's right, Zane. When both of my pendulum scales are occupied, I'm allowed to summon as many monsters as I like whose levels exist between the 2 scales from my hand and the face-up extra deck, which is where pendulum monsters go instead of being sent from the field to the graveyard. With scales of 5 and 0, I pendulum summon Level 2, Double D Lance Soldier, and Level 1, Double D Savant Kepler. Kepler's effect activates, allowing me to add Dark Contract with the Zero King from my deck to my hand. Next, with Divine Zero King Rage's Pendulum effect, I can normal summon Double D Proud Ogre without tributing. When I normal summon it, I can play a Dark Pendulum card from my extra deck with its effects negated. Return to the field! Triple D Doom King Armageddon! Now, I tune Level 2 Lance Soldier with Level 6 Proud Ogre and Level 2 Cyber Ouroboros. I Synchro Summon I bring forth an ancient ruler who once controlled half the world. Triple D Gust High King Alexander!
A synchro summon, huh? I suppose the traitorous son of the professor had to learn all of the summoning mechanics he could just to survive. Too bad for you though, because in response to the summon of your monster, I'm activating Cybernetic Overflow! By banishing the level 5 Cyber Dragon and level 1 Cyber Dragon Hertz from my graveyard, I'll destroy Abyss Ragnarok and High King Alexander, leaving you with no way to get your synchro monster back.
I'm not just surviving, Zane. I'm thriving! I'll now activate Dark Contract with the Zero King. With its effect, I can destroy my Savant Kepler to summon Triple D Vice King Requiem from my deck. With level 8 Doom King Armageddon and level 8 Vice King Requiem, I build the Overlay Network. Behold, the fearsome immortal who arrives from beyond the far reaches of the cosmos. I Xyz summon Triple D Super Doom King Dark Armageddon!
Heh, I've never seen anyone use as many summoning methods as you. I guess that must mean your skills are getting stretched thin.
Believe me, Zane, I've mastered all 4 summoning methods, and I have skills to spare. When I summon Dark Armageddon, it can attach my Abyss Ragnarok to itself as an overlay unit. Speaking of overlay units, by having Vice King Requiem as one, I can shuffle my Dark Contract with the Gate from my grave back into my deck, then destroy your Cyber End Dragon and gain 1,000 life points.
What?
Next, by detaching a material from Dark Armageddon, I can destroy monsters on your field equal to the number of pendulums I control. But you've only got 1 monster for me to destroy anyways! The Oracle King Dark you stole from me! Now, Triple D Super Doom King Dark Armageddon! Take vengeance for the Xyz dimension and attack Zane directly! Dark Cosmic Demise!
Gah!
I end my turn.
I draw! Since you control a monster, I can summon my Cyber Jormungandr alongside another Cyber Dragon from my deck. Now for something not even you could expect, Declan!
And what would that be?
While I was here, conquering the Xyz dimension, let's just say I managed to take some of their technology for myself!
You have?
With level 5 Cyber Jormungandr and level 5 Cyber Dragon, I build the Overlay Network! Arrive with the force of a dying star! I Xyz summon rank 5 Cyber Dragon Nova!
I didn't think you could Xyz summon. However, thanks to my Dark Contract with Patent License, since I control Dark Armageddon, you'll take 1,000 damage, and you won't be able to Xyz summon any further this turn.
I don't care about that. I activate Cyber Dragon Nova's effect. I detach a material to summon a Cyber Dragon from my graveyard. Cyber Dragon Noxter is always treated as the original on my field and in my graveyard, so I'll summon it instead so that I can use Noxter's effect to revive another Cyber Dragon. Now for the fun part. Cyber Dragon Nova, show the whole Xyz dimension who's the boss around here!
What else can Nova do if it's attacking with fewer points?
During the damage step, I'll have Cyber Dragon Nova banish my Noxter so that it gains another 2,100 attack points! Shatter Dark Armageddon!
When Dark Armageddon is destroyed, it moves to my Pendulum Zone!
Whatever! My remaining Cyber Dragon will attack you directly! Strident Blast!
Ah!
My turn may be over, but with that Dark Contract on your board, I'll allow you to defeat yourself for me!
I draw! During the standby phase, I would normally have to fulfill my contract, but thanks to Divine Zero King Rage being in my Pendulum Zone, I take no effect damage. And since my scales are full, I can activate Dark Armageddon's Pendulum Effect. Cosmic Xyz Gateway! I summon Triple D Divisor King Deus Machinex! Next, I'll use the ability of my Dark Contract with the Zero King and destroy my Divine Zero King Rage. Now, I summon Double D Count Surveyor, who will add Double D Scale Surveyor to my hand. With Scale Surveyor, I'll now set the Pendulum Scale once again. I Pendulum Summon Double D Proud Ogre and Double D Art from my hand. Now, by sending away my Dark Contract with the Zero King, I can call out my Double D Lance Soldier, but it'll be banished when it leaves the field. Now, Double D Lance Soldier tunes with level 6 Proud Ogre. Raise your sword to fight for the fallen heroes. I Synchro Summon. Triple D Cursed King Siegfried. Now, even if I can't stop Nova's effect in the damage step, I can still make you expend a Cyber Dragon without using anything. Deus Machinex! Attack his Cyber Dragon!
That is correct. During the damage step, I'll have to banish Cyber Dragon to get it off my field.
Now it's up to what you draw. I end my turn.
Draw! By the way, Declan, I learned more than just how to Exceed Summon while stuck in this dimension. There were some duelists I crushed that had a bit more determination in their eyes, and had the power to upgrade their Exceed monsters by channeling their fighting spirit. It was all the more satisfying to crush them, of course, but I eventually realized that I could channel such power myself!
Impossible! You can't mean—
I rebuild the overlay network with Cyber Dragon Nova! This mechanical beast hungers for victory and infinite conquest, just as I do! Rank up Exceeds change! Descend upon this dimension! Rank 6, Cyber Dragon Infinity!
I can't believe my eyes. Most duelists have to use a rank-up magic to use such a power.
My will is even stronger than that, Declan. Now, Cyber Dragon Infinity, absorb his Deviser King Deus Machinex as an overlay unit!
It's your monster who will become the overlay unit. I chain Deus Machinex's ability.
Then I'll chain Infinity's other ability. Negate and destroy his Machinex!
What?
That's right. My Cyber Dragon Infinity does it all, Declan, including the ability to attack you. With just one overlay unit left, it's strong enough to attack and destroy your Siegfried. I set a card and end my turn.
I draw. I know your Infinity's abilities thoroughly now, Zane, as well as its limitations. You won't get to use its ability ever again. I Pendulum Summon! Reappear! Double D Proud Ogre! And his attack points match your Infinity's perfectly. I switch Count Surveyor to attack position. Proud Ogre! Do away with Cyber Dragon Infinity! Count Surveyor, attack directly and end this duel!
I guess attacking into my back row was a calculated risk you decided to take, Declan. Too bad it won't pay off. Not for you, at least. I activate Power Wall! Instead of taking damage, I get to send a card from the top of my deck to the graveyard for every 500 damage I would have taken. And with Cyberdark Chimera's effect, I can send another Cyberdark monster to my graveyard. My Cyberdark Worm!
Even so, Zane, my turn's not over yet. I activate Dark Armageddon's effect! Cosmic Exceeds Gateway! Appear! Triple D Wave High King Caesar! Defense Mode!
That's it? That's all you can muster anymore? Absolutely pathetic! I draw! Your pitiful defense of an Exceeds and a Pendulum remind me exactly how much I love to crush utter weaklings. But it's the Count Surveyor you left in attack position that will be your undoing. I send Cyber Dragons 5 from my deck to the graveyard to revive the Cyber Dragon Worm you've allowed me to send to my graveyard. When I do so, I get to add a Cyber Spell or Trap from my deck to my hand. I add Cyber Dark Realm and activate it. I add Cyber Dark Claw from my deck to my hand, which I'll discard to add another Cyber Dark card from my deck to my hand. Cyber Dark Impact! I fuse the Cyber Dark Keel, Horn, and Edge from my graveyard. Behold, Cyber Dark Dragon! But that's not all, because now I activate Overload Fusion! I fuse the Cyber Dark Dragon from my field, and the Cyber End Dragon in my graveyard. I merge the most powerful monster of the Cyber Legacy with the Scourge of the Underworld deck! Meet the ultimate engine of your demise! Cyber Dark End Dragon!
What is this monstrosity?
It's the last monster you'll ever see! Each turn, Cyberdark End Dragon can equip a monster from either graveyard to itself, and attack a number of times each battle phase for each monster equipped to it. I equip your Oblivion King Abyss Ragnarok! Final Subjugation!
No!
Now, Cyberdark End Dragon! Put an end to this farce! Attack his Count Surveyor with Super Strident Dark Apocalypse!
I don't think so! I activate the effect of my Double D Savant Galilee in my hand!
It doesn't matter! Cyberdark End Dragon is unaffected by your activated effects!
I never said anything about that pointy trash heap, Zane. I'm returning my Count Surveyor to my hand! You're now forced to attack one of my defense position monsters.
What? Urgh. Whatever. It's not like you can do anything to get rid of my beast anyways. Cyberdark End Dragon! Annihilate his Wave High King Caesar!
When Wave High King Caesar is sent to the grave, I add a dark contract from my deck to my hand. That was close. I need to finish this now.
I end my turn.
I draw! During the standby phase, I'll use Scale Surveyor's effect to change Dark Armageddon's pendulum scale to 0. The universal energy swings between darkness and light. I'll harness the power of this oscillation once more. Pendulum Summon! Return to me, Proud Ogre, Savant Kepler, and Count Surveyor, alongside Double D Ghost from my hand. Savant Kepler lets me add a dark contract to my hand, and Count Surveyor adds a monster with 0 attack or defense points to my hand. I add dark contract with the entities, and Double D Savant Newton. I'll activate dark contract with the entities ahead of time. Speaking of dark contracts, I'll discard Newton to add dark contract with the Swamp King from my graveyard to my hand. I'll now activate it to use my ability to Fusion Summon. I fuse Savant Newton and the Double D Savant Kepler on my field. Rise into Triple D Flame High King Genghis! Thanks to dark contract with the entities, I now gain 1,000 life points. Now, I banish the Flame High King Genghis, Gust High King Alexander, Wave High King Caesar, and Doom King Armageddon from my field and graveyard. I conduct a Unity Summon! Behold, the most powerful tyrant who rules over more than just a mere kingdom, but oversees the dimensions themselves! Quadruple D Great Dimension King Arc Crisis!
Unity Summon?
That's correct, Zane! This monster is a fusion, synchro, exceeds, and pendulum, all at the same time! But despite his arrival, I'm nowhere near done with you. I tune the level 2 Double D Ghost and level 4 Double D Arc. I Synchro Summon Triple D Founder King Clovis. Clovis's effect activates when it's Synchro Summoned. It allows me to bring back my Gust High King Alexander. And while he stands here alongside Arc Crisis and Clovis, he gains 3,000 attack points.
This can't be!
I told you I was going to make you pay for what you've done, Truesdale. It's too late for you to apologize and back out of your punishment now. Triple D Gust High King Alexander, cut down this rancid monolith of cruelty! Double D Proud Ogre, attack Cyberdark Worm! You have nowhere to run, Zane. You're not getting let off that easy. Quadruple D Great Dimension King Arc Crisis! Come down on Zane Truesdale with the force of each dimension! Attack directly! With Dimensional Mirage Catastrophe! I'll be freeing the duelists you've sealed now. You're coming with me, Zane. You will atone for what you've done.
And with that, justice has been served. Zane's gonna be locked away for a long time. I always had the feeling that if we ever got to see an incarnation of Zane brought up in Arc 5's militaristic fusion dimension, he'd end up about 1 billion times more cruel than he ever was during his edgelord phase in GX. Cyrus might have got accepted into dual school in GX, but a military academy? I don't think they would have bothered with him. Without Cyrus there to be a redeeming force for Zane, Zane would end up spiraling into their most feared duelist, sent into the Xyz dimension on a death mission to tear things up. Walking up to a scene and seeing Zane OTK his opponent gave Declan the accurate assumption that Zane had OTK'd many of his other opponents. So therefore Declan knew he'd have to play the long game against Zane to eventually starve him of resources before striking. It was just a matter of surviving that first massive swing and being able to hold out just long enough for Declan to make full use of his pendulum cards, which undoubtedly gave him an overwhelming advantage in this duel. Matter of fact, to make this duel a bit more fair, especially since Declan has access to full power Master Rule 3 pendulums, I even had to make some of Declan monsters a bit more restrictive to summon. For example, Super Doom King's Purple, Bright, and Dark Armageddon each required an original DDD Doom King Armageddon as part of their regular summoning conditions, just as they did in the anime. Additionally, Wave Oblivion King Caesar Ragnarok must be summoned using Oblivion King Abyss Ragnarok and either Wave King Caesar or Wave High King Caesar, just as it was summoned in the anime. Divisor King Deus Machinex's summoning condition that allows it to be summoned on top of any DDD monster was changed that it could only be summoned on top of Zero Demise King Zero Machinex, though it ended up getting cheated out of the extra deck with Dark Armageddon anyways. All of the non-pendulum materials needed to summon Great Dimension King Arc Crisis must be High King monsters. I even changed that on the custom version I made that you can see back in the episode, but I'll also show it right here. So that's why Declan didn't play some of these cards sooner, and why some of them didn't appear when he otherwise could have played them. If not for these changes, Declan would have just had too many choices at any given point, and the duel wouldn't have had nearly as compelling of a back and forth. Even with all those restrictions, this was still a really tough, but ultimately rewarding duel to script. Huge thank you goes out to Spell Commander 91 for voicing Declan, and one of the Xyz users, as well as helping to re-script the opening scenes. And a shout out goes to Epic Dude in my comments section for the suggestion of this duel, as well as helping to script some of the opening moves of the game. Feel free to comment more suggestions down below, though I will say it's going to be a while before I do another duel with pendulums, especially in Master Rule 3. Till next time though, I've been Wham Bam Duel, and I'm always happy to see ya.